Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Back in February of this year, I received the brand new Samsung Galaxy S22 phone. And I was genuinely pretty excited about it, as it was my first new phone after spending the previous 3 years with the excellent S10e. And as you could probably tell from the thumbnail of this video, I'm frustrated, and I'm over it. It's not a bad phone per se, but there are 3 main issues that I have with it that for me are deal breakers. And so I'm ready to switch to something different. So let's get right into the reasons why. The first gripe that I have with the S22 is the camera system, and there's a few things wrong with it. For one, I was disappointed to find that about half the time I try to use a 3x telephoto lens, the phone simply crops into the main 50 megapixel camera instead. Supposedly it does this because the main camera is better in low light, featuring a faster 1.8 aperture over the 2.4 telephoto. So the phone decides on its own that it will achieve a cleaner photo by simply cropping in from the main sensor instead of using the telephoto lens. But it's not just low light, it's pretty much anytime I'm indoors at all. But whatever, that's a small thing, right? So maybe the camera knows better than me what its capabilities are. Sure. A bigger issue I have with the camera is in video mode, where, I kid you not, when I first got the phone, every time I started a video recording, the camera would stutter for the first few seconds. I thought this might just be in 4K, but it happens in 1080 as well. And it's actually captured in the video clips as you can see here. I'm a dad of 2 kids, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. So when I want to grab my phone to take a video of whatever cute thing they're doing, I don't have a lot of time before they move on to something else. And so it's a really big deal that when the first few seconds of that video clip is unusable and has to be edited out every time. Every time there's a new software update, I would get super excited that maybe they're going to fix this glaring issue. But nope, it just continued to persist. Now ironically, and in fairness to Samsung, when I was shooting the B-roll for this video, I discovered that it's not actually happening every time anymore, which is great, but it still happens enough that it's super annoying. And my last complaint about the camera is the shutter lag. This is something that Samsung has always struggled with, as I've experienced it with previous versions of their S-series phones as well. But it's really unacceptable when you compare this phone to the latest iPhone and Pixel phones. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there is literally a delay when you press the shutter button to when an actual photo gets taken. And the haptic feedback when you take a picture actually makes that very clear. Again, the main thing I'm trying to take pictures of these days is my 2 kids, and they don't sit still. So the fact that I can't reliably take a clear photo of them with my phone is just, it's a bummer. I would say about 20% of my photos of my kids are blurry and unusable, and that's simply too high of a number for a flagship phone from Samsung, in my opinion. Alright, moving on from the cameras. My second issue with the S22 is heat. A lot was said about the pure power of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 when it was first released, but needless to say, it's been a major disappointment. Being quickly replaced now in newer phones with the since released 8 Plus Gen 1. Now Samsung made big news after the release of the S22 line when they had to admit that they purposefully throttled the 8 Gen 1 chip because these phones just can't handle the heat. I don't play games on my phone, so that's not what bothers me. I'm experiencing this heat under regular usage like watching videos, multitasking between a few apps at once, and especially when using it to run Android Auto and Google Maps in the car. I've got a newer car with wireless Android Auto and wireless charging, and after about 20 minutes, the wireless charger stops working because of the heat from the phone. So for my longer trips, my phone was basically just hemorrhaging battery life. Every year, Samsung is one of the first major brands out of the gate with new phones sporting the most recent Qualcomm chip, but in 2022, that decision backfired. Alright, my last but certainly not least issue with this phone is that battery life. It's brutal. Now, I'm coming from the S10e, which had notoriously bad battery life, but this is worse. I actually made a video comparing the S22 to the S10e, which you can see right here. And the main thing that people commented about in that video is that they're hoping to upgrade to the S22 because their S10e had such battery life. Well, I've got bad news. It seemed okay at first, but I think that was just relative to my experience with the S10e after 3 years of diminishing battery. That said, after using the S22 now for just 7 months, I can say without a doubt that I cannot get through a day without some point having to charge my phone at least a little bit. And that's really saying something because I work from home. I'm on my computer for at least 8 hours every day, and I rarely touch my phone during those hours. And yet, by around 7 or 8 p.m., I'm lucky if I still have 15% battery life left. That's simply unacceptable. I travel a lot for work, and so I've had to resort to carrying 2 battery banks in my bag to make sure I have enough power to get through those long days. All in all, this is just super disappointing because there are truly so many other great things about this phone that I'd be remiss not to quickly mention them. I still love the design, and the display is just incredible. The performance for my use case has never been an issue. It's quick and snappy, and animations are smooth throughout the OS. And it really feels like Samsung has really come into their own on the software side of things when it comes to One UI 4. It's their best software yet and adds some really nice smart functionality on top of stock Android. Eagle-eyed viewers among you may also notice that I'm invested in the Samsung ecosystem. I've got the Galaxy Watch right here, and I recently picked up their brand new Buds 2 Pro, which are some of my favorite sounding earbuds ever. So that's why this all just hurts a little bit more. I want to love this phone, I really do. It's just that for all the things that this phone does well, I just can't get past those three main issues. And so, I'm switching. At the time of this recording, I've got a Pixel 7 on order which will arrive in a couple days. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to see a head-to-head comparison video between the S22 and the Pixel 7. But honestly, I'm on the fence with that one as well. So, what do you think I should get? Let me know in the comments below what you think my next phone should be. Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.